either. Particularly for athletes, why are we doing yoga for core? So particularly for athletes, we're talking about the core not being just that six pack or those abdominals. We're talking about all the space from just below the diaphragm to just below the hips. Okay, so that whole core complex. So we're not just talking about engaging the tummy, we're talking about strengthening the lower back, middle back, hips, glutes, that full area. Okay, so we're looking at it all as one group as opposed to just looking at individual elements of it. Okay, we will be doing a little bit of hamstring engagement with the glutes as well. So we're talking a little bit of planks, a little bit of bridges, and a lot of activation of our core muscles this evening. Okay, so if you think about it, if we're kind of, and you'll notice now, if you're sitting easy cross-legged like me, and you're already kind of slumping into the lower back, so the belly's got lazy, we're putting pressure on that lower back, we're stretching or lengthening into it, we're rolling into the front of the body. So already we know we're not engaging those core muscles. So even if you just press the chest forward, draw the shoulders back, again, think about a piece of string attached to the top of your head, drawing your spine long. If you need to tilt the pelvis forward or the hips forward a little bit, you can always sit up onto a cushion when we're in this easy cross-legged, just until the body gets used to that space in the lower back, okay? So we're trying to avoid this, and we're trying to get more of this, okay? So when it comes to being an athlete, why we need a strong core, well, a lot of it is to do with maintaining our form, okay? So regardless of what sport we do, the better, the stronger, the more mobile, the more stable our core is, the longer we're going to be able to go within our sport, okay? The longer we're going to be able to carry ourselves correctly, and the less of a chance we have of falling and developing those imbalances from side to side, okay? So I'm not going to talk too much about it. You're going to see how it feels as we move through the course. So I would, or the class tonight, should I say. So I would come to easy cross-legged. I know it's not easy for everyone. You might find your knees are right up here if you're a little bit tight in the hips, even if it means placing a little bit of cushioning underneath the knees, just to allow the knees rest out. And again, we're not going to press down on the knees to get that opening. We're going to focus on engaging the glutes or those bum muscles to press those knees down toward the ground. Okay, so we're activating to get into our stretch. We're going to rest the palms open. Sit nice and tall, nice and long into the spine, draw the chest forward, shoulders back, and we're going to inhale the arms out, reaching up, interlock the fingers, press the palms to the ceiling, and then exhale, press the palms forward, really stretch between the shoulders, so nice and active through the arms. We'll do that twice more. Inhale, arms out, reaching up, gaze goes up, interlocking fingers, press palms to the ceiling, and then exhale, stretch between those shoulders, nice and strong. One more. Again, really drawing those arms right back by the ears, interlocking fingers, and then exhale, press forward and release. We're going to inhale, arms out, reaching up. This time we're going to interlock the fingers, press the palms to the ceiling, give it another little stretch here. So we're really opening into the arms, really drawing those arms back by the ears. As we exhale, we're going to press the palms forward as far as we can go. We're lengthening from the lower back, so we're not rolling into the chest, we're not crunching into the tummy. Keep pressing the chest forward, lengthening to the spine, and then we're going to rest those fingertips out in front. Now, it doesn't matter if you're up here or if you're down here. Once you're feeling that stretch into the lower back and glutes. We're going to inhale, press the chest forward, draw the shoulders back, maybe creep those fingertips along the ground. And as we exhale, see if we can hinge a little bit deeper toward the ground, drawing the chest forward all the time, and even using that connection with the fingertips on the ground to nearly drag the ground toward us. So use the friction of the fingers on the ground to drag the ground toward us, bringing the chest forward a little bit more. Relax the head, relax the neck. One more breath here. And then gently tuck the chin in. We're going to slowly rise back up to seat. We're just going to reverse the crisscross of the legs just so we can keep a little balance in the hips here. And we're going to do the same pose again. Opening the palms to the ceiling, sitting tall. We're going to inhale, arms out, reaching up. Interlock fingers, press palms to ceiling, and then exhale, press forward through the palms, reaching forward through the chest, lengthening through the spine as far forward as we can go, and then resting those fingertips out in front. We're going to inhale, press the chest forward, draw the shoulders back, creep those fingertips forward, and then exhale, fold a little bit deeper. Allow the head and neck relax, so allow the weight of the head and body and gravity bring us a little bit deeper into that fold. So creeping those fingertips forward all the time. Feel that release in the opposite glute, that release in the lower back, through the mid back, between the shoulders. One last breath here. Exhale, release. And then inhale, tuck that chin in, gently draw it right back up to seat. Lovely. We're going to come straight back to lie onto our mats here. Again, just check in you have your tail within reach. We're going to lie back onto the mat. Knees are bent, feet are flat to start with. We're going to hug the right knee into the chest, extend fully out through the left foot. Really press away through that left heel. Left hand stays on the shin. We're going to extend the right arm out in line with the shoulder, palm down. Gently shift the hips to the right, and we're going to draw that right leg across the body to the left, resting that left hand on the outer thigh. Notice here if you can't get fully into the twist, so maybe just shift those hips a little bit further to the right until the right hip bone is stacked on top of the left, and we can really feel that twist from the lower back, through the middle back, right up into the chest as we take the gaze over the right fingertips. Again, notice here if the right shoulder's coming off the ground, even if it means lifting that right knee until we can reconnect the arm and shoulder to the ground. So we want a full spinal rotation here. As we inhale, draw that breath deep into the belly, creating that space. And then on the exhale, allow that leg drop over a little bit more. Try to keep the knee up in line with the hips so we can really feel a nice release into that right glute as well here. One last breath, lovely little spinal twist, just wringing out the core muscles here. And then slowly we're going to draw it back to center. Keep the right knee hugged in. We're going to bend the left knee, bring the foot flat onto the ground. And then we're going to rest that right ankle just above the left knee, coming into a figure four. Fingertips pointed toward the end of the mat. We're going to inhale, lift the left knee off the ground, or lift the left foot off the ground. We're going to interlock the hands behind the back of that left hamstring. And notice here, that right foot is nice and active, so we're drawing the right toe toward the knee. We're engaging that right glute to press that right knee away, getting a little bit of space into the right hip. As we inhale, see if we can walk the shoulder blades together. If we find we're rounding into the spine, we can always reach for our tail, wrap it around the back of that hamstring as a little extensor of the arms here. So shoulders are flat on the ground, working together, lower back is on the ground. As we exhale, we're going to draw that left knee a little bit closer toward the face. So we're inhaling, opening the heart, connecting the full length of the spine to the ground. And as we exhale, draw that left knee a little bit closer toward the face. So just working into a nice little release into that right hip and glute. Again, notice if you're rocking and rolling on the lower back. So keep that lower back stable and engaged as we work into the hip. One more breath here. Exhale, release. And then gently we're going to rest the left foot down onto the ground. Hands are flat on the ground. See if you can brush the fingertips to the back of that left heel. When you're ready, we're going to keep that figure four. We're going to inhale, press the hips up toward the ceiling as we gently peel the spine off the ground. We're going to work those shoulder blades together so the pressure is taken off the neck and head, and we're pressing the arms and shoulders into the ground here. Pressing the left foot, particularly that left heel, into the ground. Feel the left hamstring engage. Again, working that right glute to get that right knee out a little bit. We can hold it here, we can bring a little bit of movement. As we inhale, we're pressing the hips toward the ceiling. And as we exhale, we're going to gently lower the hips toward the ground, hovering about an inch off the ground. Inhale, pressing the hips up. Keep that left foot pressed into the ground. Exhale, gently lower. Inhale, slowly up, hamstring and glute activate. Exhale, slowly lower. So all the time, both on the up movement and as we lower, we're really working into those core muscles. Abs are working, glutes are working, hamstrings are working. Keeping that space into the chest. One more inhale up, and then exhale, gently release. We're going to bring that right foot down to meet the left. Again, we're going to stay in our bridge, so both fingertips to brush the back of the heels here, and there's about a fist between our knees. We're going to inhale, peel the lower back, middle back, upper back off the mat. Again, gently walking those shoulder blades together, pressing the arms and shoulders into the mat. We're going to keep that left foot grounded, and as we inhale, we're going to extend that right foot up toward the ceiling, lengthening through the leg, pressing the right heel away, drawing the right toes toward the face. Keep the hips lifted, and then we're going to draw a few nice big circles with that right foot. Nice and big, keep the hips lifted all the time, really working into that right hip joint, and then reverse them in the other direction. Again, nice big circles, really challenging the core here, really challenging that left hamstring and glute. One more circle, and then gently release the right foot to meet the left, and then gently release it right back down onto the mat. We're going to hug both knees into the chest, making a few little circles on the lower back just to release, giving them a nice little squeeze, those knees into the chest. And then we're going to keep the left knee hugged in. We're going to extend out fully through the right foot. Again, active through that right leg. Press it away through the right heel, draw the toe toward the face. We're going to keep the right hand on the shin. Extend left arm out in line with the shoulder, palm down. We're going to shift the hips a wee bit to the left and then gently draw that left leg across the body to the right. We might need to shift those hips a little bit more to the left until we can get the left hip to stack on top of the right. Right hand rests on the outer thigh, gaze goes over the left fingertips, and we're literally gluing that left arm and shoulder to the ground. We're starting that twist right in the lower back, through the rib cage, into the chest, and then taking that gaze over the left fingertips, drawing it all the way up the spine. Inhale, nice big belly breath. And as we exhale, allow that knee drop over just a little bit more. So the knee doesn't have to touch the ground, the foot doesn't even have to touch the ground. If you feel very unsupported here, you can always rest the foot and the knee onto a little cushion or a pillow. But again, we're not going to stay here for too long. Keep that knee up in line with the hip. Feel that left glute release. One more nice deep breath, full belly breath. Exhale, release. And then gently, we're going to roll it back to center. Keep the left knee hugged in. We're going to bend that right knee, bring the foot flat onto the ground. And then we're going to rest that left ankle just below the right knee, coming into our figure four on the other side. Again, that left foot is active. We're drawing the toe toward the knee to protect that knee joint. Fingertips should be able to brush the back of that right heel. We're going to inhale, lift the right foot off the ground, shin parallel to the ceiling or maybe a little bit higher. So just try not to let that right heel drop and get lazy. We're going to interlock the hands or the towel around the back of that right hamstring. Again, engaging that left glute to open into the left hip. So we're pressing that left knee away using the muscle activation. We're going to inhale, walk those shoulder blades together. And as we exhale, we're going to draw that right knee a little bit closer toward the face. So again, lovely release here into the glutes. Again, a lovely one if you do have issues with sciatica. So again, it's not going to cure it, but it's definitely going to help release the muscles around that nerve. So it's a lovely one. This combined with our twists, really nice to get into. Again, just a lovely little release into that lower back as well. Every exhale, we're drawing that right knee a little bit closer toward the face. Again, keep checking in that lower back, feel supported and grounded. Any of our hip openers we are doing with a nice stable lower back. Last breath. And then gently, we're going to rest that right foot back down onto the ground. See if we can brush the fingertips with the right hand to the back of the right heel. And then gently, we're going to press that right foot into the ground. Gently peel off the lower back, middle back, upper back, all the way up into our bridge. We're going to walk our shoulder blades together, pressing the arms and shoulders into the ground, taking the pressure off the neck and head. Again, keep the left foot active, keep opening into that hip. If this is a bit too strong for you, you can always come into your traditional bridge pose with both feet on the ground. You're still getting a lovely core activation. So again, don't force it. And again, if you want to bring a little bit of movement here, we're going to inhale, press the hips skyward. As we exhale, really slowly lower toward the ground, about an inch off the ground. Inhale, press it up. Again, really pressing that right foot into the ground, engaging the hamstring. Exhale, gently lower, little by little. Inhale it up, nice and slow. Exhale, gently lower. So the slower our bridge, our active bridges are, the more we're having to really engage with those core muscles. Okay, so it's not that it's easy, but it is actually easier just to go up, down, without actually really engaging those core muscles fully. And again, that's where we're going to hurt ourselves. So the slower the movement, the more mindful the movement, the more we know what feels good, what feels too much. Last one up. And then exhale, gently lower. Crossing the legs, so both feet are flat on the ground now. We should be able to brush the fingertips to the back of both heels. And again, imagine there's a fist between the knees here, so a little bit of a gap. We're going to inhale, peel the lower back, middle back, upper back off the ground. We're going to work those shoulder blades together, again, taking the pressure off the neck. Keep it lifted. We're going to keep that right foot grounded. We're going to inhale that left foot up to the ceiling, press it away through the heel. Lift it as much as you can. Again, feel free to stay in your traditional bridge with both feet grounded if this doesn't feel so hot tonight. We're going to make a few nice big circles with that left foot. Nice big circles. Keep pressing that right foot into the ground, and then we're going to reverse it in the other direction. Just notice how that feels from each side. So I know my left side is a wee bit dodgy at the moment, so this is a lot more difficult. But again, we're working on strengthening and creating that balance. One more circle. Ooh, and then gently release the left foot down. Lower our weight gently onto the ground. We're going to hug both knees into the chest, giving them a nice little squeeze. And as we exhale, we're going to draw both knees outwards, nice and wide, setting up for a nice little relaxed, happy baby to start with. See if we can connect that lower back to the ground, drawing the shoulder blades together. And again, we're not pulling the legs out as such, just allowing the weight of the hands get us a little bit deeper. If this feels good, you can always stay here. Otherwise, we're going to try to bring the soles of the foot almost parallel to the ceiling. And then we can either hold on to the calves, shins, ankles, inner arches of the feet, or we might interlock the middle and index finger around the big toe. Wherever we're at, that lower back is connected to the ground. So if the grip is on the foot and we're rocking and rolling, just bring it a wee bit closer back to the knees. We're going to inhale, press the soles of the feet toward the ceiling. And as we exhale, we're going to draw those knees down toward the ground beside us. Inhale, activating, pressing up. And then exhale, create a wee bit more space as we draw the knees down beside us. Continue with your own breath. Again, if the elbows come inside the knees, you can always use them as an extra little prop to get into the hips. But again, don't force it, only if it comes naturally. Just gentle openness into the hips, but we're using that engagement. So we're pressing upward, and then we're getting that extra little bit of space as we exhale. Lovely. Wherever we're at, we're going to hug those knees into the chest, crisscross at the ankles. We're going to take 3 or 4 rolls forward and back along the mat. Again, if this doesn't feel good, you can always come right up to seat, nice and slowly. Using the motion to massage the full length of the spine into the ground. Try to use your core, particularly your tummy muscles, to draw yourself forward and back. When we've taken 3 or 4, we're going to meet up in seat. From here, we're going to come straight over onto our hands and knees, right into our tabletop. So in our tabletop, we want to start with our hands. So those fingers are nicely spread. Think about our foundations of our trees. The shoulders are over the elbows, over the wrists. Elbow creases face forward. We're literally pressing the hands into the ground to engage those shoulder muscles. So check in, we're not dumping into the shoulders. This is going to be really important later when we're working into our plank. So I want you to think all the time you're pressing the ground away, keeping those shoulders strong. Hips are over knees, knees are about hip width distance apart. If you need to tuck the toes under, if the knees feel a little bit funky, you always can, otherwise flat out onto the mat. Notice again if the belly's dropped, if the bum's up into the air. So we want to suck that belly button right back toward the back of the spine. Feel the tummy muscles engage and feel those lower backs release. Cat-cow curls for now. We're going to inhale, press the chest forward, gaze up toward the ceiling, arching through the spine. Exhale, press into the ground, curl through the spine, take the gaze right back to the belly. Inhale, gaze goes forward and up, arching the spine. Exhale, curling through, pressing into the ground, really tucking that chin into the chest. Inhale, gaze forward and up, little micro bend to the elbows. Exhale, pressing into the ground, really stretching into those shoulders. Continue with your own breath. So again, just a lovely little spinal mobilization. Again, working into our core. So it's not good enough to have a strong, stable core. We want to have a nice little bit of mobility, a nice little bit of sway. So we're not looking for a rigid spine. We want as much movement as we can. And by creating movement into our spine, all those little muscles around our spine are going to free up as well, allowing us to really engage with our core and with our postural muscles, allowing us access that extra little bit of strength and stability. Last one, nice little wave-like motion. And then gently back to center. Just make sure you have enough space out front so you're not touching anything for the next little sequence. And again, check in that that shoulder remains over the wrist at all times. We're going to keep the left hand grounded. We're going to extend out fully through the right arm. So almost imagine you're trying to touch something on the front wall. We're going to press back through the left foot, through the heel as we draw the left toes toward the face. And again, notice here, if the belly's dropped, we're going to suck that belly button right back to the spine. We might find that left leg starts to lower, engage that left glute to get it up again. Again, we might hold it here, or if you want to bring a little bit of movement, we're going to inhale, draw the right elbow, left knee into touch. And as we exhale, extend it out through the fingertips, through that left heel. Inhale, right elbow, left knee into touch. Exhale, extend it out and lift that back leg. Continue with your own breath, slow, controlled movements. Again, notice if you're dumping back into that left wrist, if you need to shift it until it's back in line with the shoulder. So we're looking for glute activation as we extend, abdominal core activation as we draw the elbow toward the knee. The slower the movement, the more we are activating those core muscles. Gaze is relaxed, so try not to stress out the neck by looking forward or back to the belly. So we're just looking directly down onto the mat. Think about the neck as an extension of the spine. Last two, nice and slow. Last one. Keep it extended out there. We're going to bring that right hand down to meet the left, resting on the ball of the left foot and getting a nice little stretch into the back of the left knee, or the left leg, should I say. Pressing away through that left heel. We're going to hold for 3, for 2, and 1. We're going to keep the right hand and right knee grounded, and we're going to swivel on that right knee, coming into a little side plank variation. So right hand grounded, right knee grounded. We're going to bring the outer blade of that left foot parallel to the end of the mat. Bringing the left hand to the hip to start with, we're going to press the hips forward. So again, bum's not popping out to the back. Draw, engage that left shoulder open into the heart. We're going to extend that left arm up toward the ceiling. And as we exhale, we're going to extend that left arm overhead, reaching to the front of the room. Again, not to the left. Keep that openness into the heart. Keep that shoulder engagement. Maybe taking the gaze up to the left hand. Again, you can hold it here, or you can join me in a little flow. We're going to inhale, draw the left elbow, left knee into touch. Exhale, extend it out, hovering that left foot off the ground. Inhale, left elbow toward left knee. Exhale, extend it out. Again, continue with your own breath. So the knee and elbow don't have to touch, you're just drawing them in that general direction. Bonus points if they do. Just working a little bit more mobility into that hip. Again, if you want to really challenge the balance, you can always follow that middle finger on the left hand with the gaze. So a moving point of focus, challenging our balance, working on our little stabilizing muscles. Last one, wherever we're at. Rest the left foot down. Nice little reach with that left hand one more time. And then we're going to rest that left hand back to meet the right, swivel on the right knee, and that left knee comes back in to meet the right. Same deal on the other side. When you're ready, we're going to keep that left hand grounded, extend the right arm out. Oh, other way, sorry. Right arm grounded, extend it out. Right foot back, left arm forward, pressing back through that right heel. I was nearly going to get you to do doubles. Again, checking in that wrist is directly below the right shoulder, so we're not putting any pressure into the wrist. Really reaching through the fingertips, really pressing back through the heel, engage those tummy muscles. We're going to inhale, draw left elbow, right knee into touch. Exhale, extend it out, lift that back leg, engage the glute. Inhale it in, slow and controlled. Exhale, press it out and extend. Inhale in, exhale out. Continue with your own breath. Slow, controlled movements. As you exhale out, imagining somebody pulling you from the fingers and the heel. So we're really lengthening into that pose. Lifting the leg, engaging that glute. Don't forget to breathe. We're inhaling it in. Exhale, extend it out. One more. Again, bringing that left hand back to meet the right. We're going to land on the ball of that right foot. Pressing back through the heel. Feel that lovely little bit of space into the back of the right leg. Nothing too deep, just a nice gentle stretch. For 3, for 2, and 1. Keep the left hand, left knee grounded. We're going to swivel on that left knee, and we're going to come onto the outer blade of that right foot. Now, if you need to come up onto the fingertips in the left hand, that's perfectly okay. See how you're at, or if you need to use the block just to get a wee bit more height. Right hand rests on the hip to start with. And again, we're drawing that right shoulder back. So notice if you're collapsing, if the bum's popped out, we want to keep that space into the front of the body. Inhale, right arm up toward the ceiling. And as we exhale, we're going to extend that right arm overhead. So we're allowing our arm almost to brush in line with our ear. So we're trying not to reach forward. Keep that space in the chest. Again, you can stay here if that feels good, just lengthening through the fingertips, pressing into the outer blade of that right foot. Or we're going to inhale, draw right elbow, right knee into touch. Exhale, extend it out, hovering that right foot off the ground. Inhale it in, nice and slow. Exhale, extend it out. Inhale in. Exhale out. Again, if you want to challenge the balance, you can always follow that middle finger on the right hand with the gaze. Again, that moving point of focus. Don't forget to breathe. Inhale it in. Exhale, extend. Nearly there. Last one. Lovely. Resting the right foot down. Giving those right fingers one more little stretch. And then bringing that right hand back to meet the left. Swiveling on the left knee. Right knee comes back to meet the left. Lovely. Hands come a little bit far forward of the mat. Tucking the toes under. We're going to sit back toward the heels and just feel that lovely stretch into the arches of the feet. And actually from here we might just untuck the toes for a little bit. We're going to sit back, right back onto the heels, pressing the ground away out front until we can really ground those sit bones. And then we're going to rest the head onto the ground and just allow the hands come back by the feet. Again, a nice little relaxed child's pose here. Releasing the glutes, maybe rocking the body side to side, release the lower back. Allow those shoulders melt toward the ground. Just taking a moment here, checking in with how the body feels, checking in with where the breath is at, trying to draw it deep into the belly. And as you exhale, just allow the body release. From here, again, we're going to bring those hands forward to the front of the mat, tucking the toes under, pressing away through the heels. We're going to really open up through the fingers, so really grounding the hands into the mat, particularly those finger pads and knuckles. Try to stay quite light on the wrists here. As we inhale, we're going to draw the hips toward the ceiling, nice and high. And as we exhale, we're going to draw those heels down toward the ground. So feet are about hip width distance apart, maybe a little bit wider if you need it. And again, we're actively pressing into the hands, engaging those shoulders. Draw the chest toward the ground, lifting the hips toward the ceiling. A little bit higher, we're going to inhale right up onto the tippy toes. And as we exhale, drawing those heels toward the ground. Inhale, tippy toes, hips lift toward the ceiling. Exhale, draw the heels down. See if we can activate the quads to get a wee bit more space in behind the legs. Inhale, tippy toes. Exhale, drawing it down. One more. Inhale, tippy toes. And then exhale, release, release, release. From here, we're going to keep the right hand grounded, staying in our downward dog, so staying in our nice little upside down V. We're going to lift off the left hand and reach to catch hold of the outer right leg as low as you can go. So it could be the thigh, it could be the bum, it could be just below the knee, just above the knee, right down to the calf. Looking up underneath that right armpit, little gentle twist to the right, drawing the heels down for 3, for 2, and 1. Gently bring that left hand back to meet right. Keep the left hand grounded. And again, we're going to reach under the body with that right hand to catch hold of the outer left leg. It mightn't be the same position. Listen to your body. Looking up underneath that left armpit, twisting a little bit to the left, still drawing those heels down, still drawing the hips up for 3, for 2, and 1. Right hand comes back to meet left. We're going to inhale, look forward between the hands. Gently, gently walk to the front of the mat, nice and slowly. We're going to bring the feet a little bit wider than hip width distance apart. Nice deep bend to the knees until the belly literally rests on the thighs. We're going to hold on to opposite elbows and just allow the head and neck relax here. So a nice little release into the lower back. So again, what often happens if we're not engaging our tummy muscles or abdominals in our core, we put a lot of pressure on that lower back. So it's having to do the job of the core. It's maybe being pulled at from above, it might be pulled at from the glutes and the hamstrings. So again, just learning how to release the lower back before we start to get into those hamstrings. Again, if that feels good, you might see if you can press the hips a little bit higher toward the ceiling, and as you exhale, hinge a little bit more. So again, focus on releasing the lower back as opposed to those legs. We're going to rest the fingertips to the ground. Gently tuck the chin in toward the chest. We're going to slowly, slowly rise up to stand. Head comes up last. Lovely. Take a drink if you need it. We're going to get a little bit flowy now for the next part of the class. We're working in to our sun salutations, and because the theme is core, we are going to be looking quite a lot on, sorry, there's a little thing coming up on my screen. We're going to be looking quite a lot at our planks. Okay, so as I was saying, when we were in our tabletop, I want you to think about pushing the ground away as opposed to holding your body. Okay, so even if we just think of that in our mind, pushing the ground away, engaging the shoulders. If it still feels a little bit clumsy on the shoulders, so if it feels a wee bit unstable, make sure to come down onto your knees when I cue you. So the last thing you want to do is come away hurting your shoulders from your planks, okay? So any variations, listen out for them. We're going to come to the front of the mat. Feet nicely grounded, about hip width distance apart. Press the palms together at chest center. We're going to draw the shoulders back, press the chest forward, feel that length into the neck. See if we can engage the tummy muscles. So again, notice here, like we did in our tabletop, if the bum's popped out, if the belly's got lazy, I want you to think about tucking that belly button to the back of the spine. You're going to feel that pelvis tilt forward and upward. You're going to feel that lower back release, those glutes engage, and hopefully a little bit of release on the hamstrings. So that's what we kind of want to maintain in our poses this evening. When you're ready, we're going to inhale the arms out, reaching up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins, nice flat back, look down to the knees here. Exhale, fold. Bringing right foot back to lunge, left foot to meet it. We're going to hold it here. First plank, we're going to really check in with those cues. If already it feels too strong, feel free to come down onto the knees, but keep the spine long and the core strong so the bum's not popping up into the air. So nice strong line from shoulders to knees. Otherwise, we're thinking about pressing those hands into the ground. Again, shoulders over elbows over wrists, elbow creases face forward. Press the ground away, engage those shoulder muscles. And we're pressing back through the heels. Feel those leg muscles engage. For 3, for 2, and 1. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to the mat. Keep the elbows tucked in. We're going to roll the heart forward, untuck the toes. Press the feet into the ground as we lift the chest forward. Exhale, tuck the toes. Press it back, downward dog. Same thing happens when we're pressing into our downward dog. Keep those shoulder muscles strong and engaged. So you're pressing the ground away. Walking it out, nice and easy. Allow opposite heels melt toward the ground. Keep those hips lifted. Keep the heart pressed toward the ground. We're going to inhale that right foot up toward the ceiling. Looking forward between the hands, stepping right foot into lunge with control. Left foot to meet it. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rolling up to center, hands extended up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins, nice flat back. Exhale, fold. Stepping left foot back to lunge, right foot to meet it. Again, holding it here, nice strong plank. If you need to come to the knees, by all means do. Check in where those hips are at. Have they dropped toward the ground? Am I dumping into my shoulders, or if my bum popped up into the air? Press the ground away. Keep that nice long line from the base of the neck, through the spine, through the legs, and again, press away through the heels for 3, for 2, and 1. Exhale, knees, chest into the ground. Elbows in, roll the heart forward, untuck the toes. Press the feet into the ground. See if we can really draw those shoulder back. Press the chest forward. A little bit more. And then gently press into the mat. Tuck the toes, press it away, downward dog. Walk it out, nice and easy. So when we're in our baby cobra, I want you to think about lifting the chest forward and using those lower back muscles. So engaging the lower back muscles to help with that lift. We're going to inhale the left leg up, looking forward, stepping the left foot into lunge with control. Right foot to meet it, exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up to center, hands extended up. Exhale, hands to heart. Second round with a few variations. Again, starting at the front of the mat, feet nicely grounded, hip width distance apart, hands to heart. Really press the palms together, draw the shoulder blades back, engage the core. We're going to inhale, arms out, reaching up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping right foot back to lunge, left foot to meet it. Again, you can hold it here in our high plank. You can drop down onto the knees if you wish. Otherwise, if you want to join me on our forearms, we're going to go into a little side plank variation here. So on our forearms, same deal, we're pressing the forearms into the ground to take the pressure off the shoulders. We're going to bring that left forearm parallel to the front of the mat, and then we're going to fall over onto the outer blade of that left foot. Again, if you need to come down onto that left knee, by all means do. Just keep pressing that right hip up toward the ceiling. We're going to bring the right hand to the hip. Again, we're pressing the left forearm into the ground, drawing the hips toward the ceiling and drawing the heart open. So draw that right shoulder back. So again, we're not collapsing forward. If that feels good, we might extend that right arm up toward the ceiling, really reaching through the fingertips. And if that feels good, we might hover that right foot off the left as high as we can go. But again, don't let those hips drop. So keep the hips lifted. Maybe take the gaze up for balance. For 3, for 2, and 1. Gently lower the foot, gently lower that right forearm back to the ground. Left forearm parallel to it. Engage those shoulders. We're going to come right back up into our high plank. Inhale here. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to the ground. Roll the heart forward, untuck the toes. See if we can hover the fingertips off the ground and keep that space. Keep that lift in the front of the body. Exhale, tuck the toes, press it back, downward dog. Walk it out. Again, notice where the head and neck are at. Nice and relaxed, gaze is back toward the knees, maybe toward the belly. We're pressing the chest toward the ground. Keep those shoulders strong. We're going to inhale the right leg up, looking forward, stepping right foot into lunge. Left foot to meet it. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up through center, hands extended up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping left foot back to lunge, right foot to meet it. Again, choose to stay here in our high plank, low plank, on the knees, wherever you want. Otherwise, we're going to come onto our forearms nice and slow with control. Pressing those forearms into the ground, connect to those shoulder muscles. We're going to bring that right forearm parallel to the front of the mat, coming onto the outer blade of that right foot, and again, checking the right shoulder is over the elbow here. Keeping the left hand on the hip to start with, we're going to peel the heart open, drawing that left shoulder back. Keep the left hip lifted as much as we can. We might extend that left arm up toward the ceiling, and we might hover that left foot off the right. Again, active through the left foot, pressing away through the heel, draw the toes toward the face, lift those hips, maybe take the gaze up, challenging the balance. For 3, working into those obliques. For 2, and 1. Rest the foot down, coming back onto that left forearm, right forearm comes to meet it. Re-engage, back up into my high plank. Again, all the time, keeping the shoulder muscles engaged. Inhale here, exhale, knees, chest, chin to the ground, roll the heart forward, untuck the toes, lift the chest forward. Exhale, tuck the toes, press it back, downward dog. You're either going to love me or hate me after this. Walking it out nice and easy. Check in where the breath is at. Notice if you've been holding it. Notice if it's caught up into the chest. So really try to draw that breath deep down into the belly. And as you exhale, try to press every last little bit of air out of the body by using that core engagement. We're going to inhale the left leg up, looking forward, stepping left foot into lunge, right foot to meet it, exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up through center, hands extended up, exhale, hands to heart. Lovely. Third round, again, another variation. When you're ready, kneeling at the front, feet nicely grounded, hip width distance apart, hands to heart. Relax the breath. You just take a nice deep inhale through the belly, into the rib cage, into the chest. And as you exhale, just slide out through the lips and let it go. Inhale, arms out, reaching up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping right foot back to lunge, left foot to meet it. Hold it here in plank. Again, choosing to stay here, or we're going to work into a little mountain climber sequence. So again, a wee bit of fitness squeezed in here. Still staying on a high plank, or you can come down onto the knees, but again, keep the core strong, spine long. As you inhale, you're going to draw that right knee forward to touch the right elbow, staying in our plank. Exhale it back together. Inhale, left knee to left elbow forward. Exhale, press it back. Inhale, right knee, right elbow, keeping the ground pressed away. Inhale, left knee. Exhale it back. Continue with your own breath. Again, if you do need to come down onto the knees, you're still getting a brilliant core workout. Just maybe taking that pressure off the upper body if it's not feeling so good. You know yourself. Keep those shoulders strong. Keep those arms strong. Working a little bit of mobility into the hips here as well as strength. Last one, both sides. Lovely. Coming back to plank. From here, exhale, knees, chest, chin to the ground, roll the heart forward. From here, we're going to stay on the belly, and then we're going to come onto our forearms. So we're going to go into a little Sphinx variation. Just check in, we're on our forearms. The shoulders should be in line with the elbows here. And again, notice if you've dumped into the shoulders. So again, we want to lift the chest forward. Draw those shoulder blades back together, almost like you're trying to hold something between the shoulder blades. Notice if you're dumping into the lower back, if it feels a wee bit compressed. I want you to see if you can suck that belly button toward the back of the spine. So a little bit of tummy engagement here. We're using that friction of the hands on the ground to nearly pull the ground toward us as we draw the chest forward. Okay, so feel those arms engage here as well. And we're going to hold it here. Relax the head, relax the neck. Legs are relaxed, so we're just working from the hips up here. Again, we can choose to stay in Sphinx pose, or we might come into seal. So seal pose, basically our hands come out like little flippers, so little web flippers, coming out at an angle. And we're going to gently press those hands into the ground. Keep a little bend to the elbows so we're not looking out, and keep those shoulders strong, heart open, so we're not dumping into those shoulders. Again, notice if we started to dump into the lower back, we're engaging those tummy muscles, so really sucking that belly button toward the back of the spine. Hold it here for 3, for 2, and 1. Slowly release down onto the forearms. Take a breath. We're going to bring those hands back in line with the chest. Inhale, draw the chest forward, press those feet into the ground, and then exhale, tuck the toes under, press it back, downward dog. Walk it out nice and easy. Then again, in your downward dog, choose any variation. You can come to stillness. You can maybe rock your hips side to side if you feel like a little bit more release into the glutes. So listen to your body here. We're going to inhale that right leg, looking forward between the hands. Step the right foot into lunge, left foot to meet it. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up to center, hands extended up. Last side, exhale, swan dive, fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping left foot back to lunge, right foot to meet it. Again, you can stay here working on your plank, or you can come into your forearm plank. Again, you can choose to stay here. Shoulders over elbows. Keep that spine long, core strong. If you need to come down to the knees, by all means do. We're going to work into a little dolphin plank here. So again, keep the arms pressed into the ground. Keep the shoulders strong. As we inhale, we're going to walk those toes toward the elbows, looking back between the feet. And as we exhale, we're going to walk those feet right back down into our plank. Inhale, toes to elbows. Walk it in. Exhale, draw it back. Inhale it in, relax the head, relax the neck, lift those hips, exhale it back. 2 more. Again, you might get a lot farther than I am, so go as far as you can go, walking those toes toward the elbows. Last one. Exhale it back. Lovely. From here, re-engage those shoulders, coming back into our high plank, nice and slow. Inhale, plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to the ground. Roll the heart forward, untuck the toes, lift the chest forward. Exhale, hands to the mat, press it away. Downward dog. Walking it out, nice and easy. And again, from our downward dog, we're just going to gently release down onto the knees. So knees are together, feet are together, untuck the toes. Again, press the ground away out front. As much as we can, sitting back onto the heels. Rest the head down onto the ground or onto a block or onto a cushion. So just take the weight out of the neck. And then we're just going to release those hands back by the feet. So just taking a couple of breaths here in our child's pose. If it feels good, you can sway the hips side to side. Think about the weight of those arms, creating a little bit more space between the shoulders as they work their way toward the ground beside us. Relax the breath. Notice if you're holding any niggles, any tension in the body, just really breathe into that space. And as you exhale, just sigh it out, release and let it go. When you're ready, we're going to bring those hands back to the front of the mat. Stepping back up into our tabletop, we're going to tuck the toes under, lift the hips, press it back into our downward dog. Inhale, left leg up, looking forward, stepping left foot into lunge, right foot to meet it. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up to center, hands extended up. Exhale, hands to heart. Well done. Take a drink. We have one more little core activating sequence. So again, listen to my cues if you need to come to the knees, if the shoulders are really feeling it. So a lot of our core practices in yoga do rely on engaging the shoulder muscles as well, which is really good because that helps us maintain that lovely space and openness into the front of the body. Okay, so particularly as athletes, where we're constantly working into the front, contracting into the front, into the hips, into the chest, we're looking at shoulder engagement and that lovely glute, lower back engagement, core engagement. Okay, when you're ready, we'll stop talking. Feet nicely grounded, hip width distance apart, hands to heart. Same starting pose. Feel the power, feel the strength. We're going to inhale, arms out, reaching up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. We're going to step the right foot back to lunge. We're going to keep the right hand grounded here. If you need to come down to the right knee, by all means do. We're going to inhale that left arm up toward the ceiling, extending through the fingers. Press back through the right heel. We're going to bend the left elbow. Bring the back of the hand to rest in the lower back. Use that connection to draw the heart open. Take the gaze up over that left shoulder for 3, for 2, and 1. Release the left hand back to meet right, resting onto the right knee. We're going to inhale, both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. From here, we're going to inhale, lift through the spine. As we exhale, we're going to twist to the left, keep the hands at heart center, and then we're going to rest that right arm onto the left leg. Keeping the hands in prayer, hands face forward, that left elbow points toward the ceiling. We're going to press the right arm into the leg, see if we can lift the belly off the leg, see if we can work the chest open, taking the gaze over the left shoulder. We might stay here for the next few breaths. If you want to challenge the balance, challenge the core a little bit more. We're going to lift off the right knee, press back through the right heel and hold that twist. Again, if you notice the right knee is really bent or you're shaking, do come back onto the knee, re-engage with the pose. So we don't want to be shaken, we don't want it to feel unstable, nice and strong for 3, for 2, and 1. Exhale, release that right knee down. We're going to bring that right arm off the leg, staying in our twist, hands still to heart. Open the hands to the left side of the room. Hold it here for 3, for 2, and 1. Hands back to heart. Gently turning to the front. We're going to bring both hands to the mat. Coming off the right knee. A nice little lunge here. We're going to step that left foot back to meet right. Hold and plank. Inhale here. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga if you've been practicing. So again, chaturanga, we're drawing the chest slightly forward of the fingers. Keep the elbows tucked in, keep the elbow creases face forward. Gently lower, engage those triceps. We're going to work the chest forward, pressing the feet into the ground, drawing the shoulders back. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward dog. This is my little favorite core sequence next. So if you've been coming to my classes, you've done this before. So from our downward dog, we're going to work into a little core glute sequence. So staying in our downward dog, and you can do this with the left knee on the ground, but just see how it feels to start with. Press the ground away actively through the arms. We're going to inhale that right leg up toward the ceiling. As we exhale, bend the right knee, draw it forward to touch the right elbow as we move forward into plank. Inhale, right leg back, extend, engage the glutes. Exhale, right knee toward the nose, forward into plank. Shoulders are over the wrists. Inhale it back, engage the glutes. Exhale, right knee to left elbow, twist into our plank. Inhale it back. Exhale, right knee toward nose. Inhale it back. Again, you can do this with the left knee. You're still getting an amazing core workout, so don't worry about dropping to that knee. If it feels too strong in the shoulders, exhale, right knee to left elbow, twist. Last one, center. Inhale it back. This time as we exhale, look forward between the hands. Step that right foot into lunge. We're going to come up onto the fingertips. A little bit of balance here. Spring loading through that left foot. We're going to gently lift the left foot off the ground. Keep the fingertips to the front of the mat. Keep the hips and shoulders pressed forward. We're going to press back through the left foot as we lift the leg. Maybe hovering the fingertips off the ground if we can. Hold it here for 3, for 2, and 1. Fingertips come to the ground. We're going to bring that left foot in to meet the right, and then exhale, fold. Inhale, gently rolling up to center, hands extended up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping left foot out to lunge, we're going to keep that left hand strongly grounded. Inhale the right arm up toward the ceiling, opening the heart, extending through the fingertips, press back through the left heel. Again, if you need, you can come down onto that left knee. We're going to bend the right elbow, bring the back of the hand to rest at the lower back. Use that connection to draw the heart open. Engage that right shoulder. Maybe take the gaze up if it's okay on the neck. Hold for 3, but not the breath, for 2, and 1. Gently bringing that right hand back to meet left. Lower onto the left knee. We're going to inhale, both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, nice and tall. As we exhale, twist to the right. We're going to rest that left upper arm onto the right thigh. Hands are in prayer for hands face forward. That right elbow points toward the ceiling. Again, we're going to draw that right shoulder back, so opening the heart, almost parallel to the right side of the room. We're going to press that left arm into the leg, create a little bit of air space between the belly and the leg. And again, we might stay here if that feels good, or if you want to challenge the balance a wee bit more. We're going to press into the ball of the left foot, engage that left leg muscle, extend through the left knee as we lift the left knee off the ground. We're going to hold it here. Again, if you're bending, if you're shaking, just come down onto the knee until you get strong in the twist. And then over time, just gently coaxing your body up into the full extension for 2 and 1. Gently release the left knee down. We're going to inhale the left arm off the leg. Stay in our twist, hands to heart to start with. And then we're going to open the arms nice and wide, so both palms face the right side of the room. Hold it here in our twist for 3, for 2, draw that right shoulder back, and 1. Inhale, hands back to heart, drawing it forward to the front of the mat. We're going to bring both hands down to frame that right foot, coming off the left knee. Nice little lunge here. With control, we're going to draw that right foot back to meet left into our plank. Inhale here, exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga to the ground. Either way, elbows in, roll the heart forward, untuck the toes, press the feet into the ground, draw the shoulders back. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward dog. Last little bit here, walk it out, warming the body, warming the hips up for the last little bit. And then coming to stillness here in our downward dog. So try to keep that right heel working toward the ground as we work the left leg. When you're ready, we're going to inhale the left leg up toward the ceiling as we exhale, and bend the left knee as we work it forward to touch the left elbow into our nice strong plank. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, left knee to nose. Inhale, left leg back. Engage that glute. Exhale, left knee to right elbow forward into twist. Inhale, left leg back, engage. Exhale, left knee toward nose. Inhale it back. Exhale, left knee, left elbow plank. Inhale it back. Exhale, left knee to right elbow twist in our plank. Nearly there. Last one, center. Inhale it back. This time as we exhale, look forward between the hands with control. Step that left foot in between the hands. We're going to bring the fingertips to the front of the mat. Gently spring load on the ball of that right foot to lift the right foot off the ground. Chest moves forward, hips are level. We're pressing back through the right heel, so we're not coming into a twist here. Again, keep the glute and core engaged. Maybe hovering the fingertips off the ground and hold it here for 3, for 2, and 1. Fingertips come back to the mat. From here, we're going to step that right foot back, coming back into our lunge. Step the left foot back to meet it, and then just gently walk it out in our downward dog. Nice and slowly, nice and even. Maybe bringing a little swagger into our downward dog by rocking the hips side to side, maybe looking out underneath opposite armpits, feeling a nice little stretch into the obliques, into the sides. So again, nice and easy, nice and gentle. And then from here, we're going to gently rest down onto the knees, sit back onto the heels, press the ground away, and then gently, as we sit back onto the heels, we're going to tuck the chin in and walk the hands back toward the knees as we come to sit back onto the heels. From here, coming over onto our right side, we're just going to bring the legs out in front here, just a few little gentle twists before we go into our final pose. So again, we're sitting nice and tall into the spine, so notice that dumping into the lower back, that resting of the tummy muscles. We're going to press the chest forward, try to really engage that lower back, keep it nice and strong. We're going to bring the hands behind us, nice and easy, fingertips point back. We're going to bring the feet nice and wide, and we're going to allow the knees knock together. Again, try not to dump into the shoulders, keep the chest pressed forward. We're going to inhale center. As we exhale, just allow both knees drop over to the right as we take the gaze over the left shoulder. Inhale center. Exhale, knees to left, gaze to right shoulder. Inhale center, exhale right. Inhale center, exhale left. Continue a few more breaths, both sides. Again, we're just kneading out the waist, kneading out the glutes, releasing the core. And again, you can make it as rigid or as flowy as you wish if you just want to sway the knees side to side. So we're not really looking for engagement here. Strength, yes, so still keep those shoulders strong. But again, just a nice little massage out as we rock the body through that twist. Lovely. So for the last little bit, if you have a block, it's going to be nice for this one. If you don't, it's okay. You can just come finally into your final Tadasana. So if you don't have a block, you can come just lie back down onto the mat. Just feel that lower back connect to the ground. Palms are out by the sides, palms are open to the ceiling. Working those shoulder blades together. Allow the feet drop out, arms drop out, and just gently close down the eyes. If you do have a block, we're going to bend the knees. And again, a large book will do for this too. We're going to bend the knees, coming flat onto the feet. Gently peel the lower back off the ground. So we're coming into a little relaxed bridge. We're going to get our block. And we're going to place it underneath that nice flat part of the back. So not underneath the arch and not underneath the bum. Okay, so just that nice little flat part in between until it almost feels like an extension of the back. So you should feel really stable here. If you know already you want to create a little bit more space into the front of the body and it feels stable, you can always bring your block up to the next level. Again, make sure it's connected to the lower back. And then we're going to extend out fully through the legs. Allow the feet drop out to the sides, arms out to the sides. Again, wherever we're at, those shoulders are together, the heart is open, hands are relaxed, feet are relaxed, legs are relaxed. I'm just gently closing down the eyes if they're not closed already. And just notice how the body feels here. So if you're on the block, just feel that extra wee bit of space into the front of the body. Nice little release into the hips, into the tummy, into the chest. And just notice if you're holding any tension in the body. Notice if you're gripping your hands. And if you are, maybe just even acknowledge that tension. So maybe if it's the hands, grip a little bit more as you inhale, and as you exhale, just sigh out, release and let it go. Or maybe it's the face, maybe you're clenching the jaw, maybe you're frowning the brow. So again, really tense up into that space on the inhale. And then as you exhale, just sigh it out, release and let it go. So just feel the body weight, feel gravity draw you down toward the ground. Every exhale, just allow the body relax a little bit more. And again, I could stay here all night. Again, if you do have time after the class to come back into your Savasana, and particularly the one with the block, if you have a nice little support there, it's a lovely way of just releasing into the body. But for now, if you're on a block, we're going to gently bend the knees, bring the feet flat onto the mat, gently lift the hips toward the ceiling, just enough so we can remove that block, and then slowly lower onto the mat, meeting the rest in our final Savasana. So extending arms out, feet out. From here, we're going to hug the knees in toward the chest. Give them a nice little squeeze, maybe rocking side to side in the lower back. Find a little release into the lower back and glutes. And then release the grip. Allow the feet melt down onto the ground. We're going to slowly roll over onto our right-hand side. Take a couple of breaths here. Just reconnecting with where you're at. And then when you're ready, we're going to press that left hand into the ground to slowly bring our way up to seat. Nice and slowly, head comes up last. And then we're just going to meet in any comfortable seat for you. So it could be easy cross-legged, it could be legs extended out, it could be sitting back on the heels. So whatever feels good. And again, hopefully feeling that little engagement of the core here, a little bit more than at the start of the class. We're going to finish like we started with 3 nice active closing breaths. So we're going to open the palms to the ceiling. Again, press the chest forward, draw the shoulders back, sit nice and tall. And then we'll inhale the arms out, reaching up. Interlock fingers, press palms to ceiling. This time as we exhale, press the palms forward, but just sigh the breath out through the lips, release and let it go. 2 more like that. Nice big full circles. And exhale, release. And then gently bring the hands to heart center, press the palms together, close in the eyes, and just thank yourselves for creating a wee bit of space